Hello and welcome to Blocky Music, where me and guest listen to Blocky music and then guest ranks the music. This time I have Alyssa. Say hi.
Hello.
No Janet this time, so just Alyssa, which means that I don't have to. I don't have to be the tiebreaker. It's just whatever the
No.
hell Alyssa says. That's what's good. The ranking is going to be. So Janet's done a lot of the Mega Man NES games, all of them actually by now. And so I've been doing all those with her. But and we've been doing the X series together, the three of us. But we haven't hit any of the Mega Man on the Game Boy, which is slightly different. So
Different bee boops.
yes, different style of bee boops. Cool. That being said, we're just gonna go for it. Mega Man 3 Game Boy is a mixture of Mega Man 3 NES and Mega Man 4 NES. They just took half of each game and then put it together and then added some stuff. So
Okay.
these have appeared in other games, but now they're blockier than usual. And that's all I got. Bye.
Okay.
All right.
I like Sparkman. Probably gonna recognize a lot of these, but the intro doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's just long enough, and then it gets into that chorus, and it's nice. I I like it. If not like a high 4 or 5, I kind of need to listen to the other ones, but this is up there. So I guess let's go to 5 right now, and then we can see and change it. Change it later.
Okay. Cool. Then we've got. I will say real quick, Sparkman. I like how when it starts, it's very like centralized, and then
Yeah.
when it kicks into the actual song, it does some cool stuff with stereo, where like you can hear like
Hmm.
the left and the right a lot. I think
Yes.
that
Yeah.
was really nice how they did that. That's some premium level. Like they know what they're doing. All right, that's all I want to say.
They
All
know
right,
how that game chip works.
Gemini Man. Okay, Gemini Man.
Again, really like this one. The overall tune, the overall beat. I don't know if I like it as. I don't like it more than Sparkman, so I'd probably give this one a 4. Um, in this instance, but yeah, it's handled really well. Again, the song develops well. It's good. It's good.
All right, cool. Then we have Shadow Man.
Sneaking around in the castle.
All right, Shadow Man.
I like the way the song starts. Um, it's still composed well. Um, it has like that really like sharp, piercing note at the beginning. Um, that's kind of in contrast with the background noise, kind of like you're gonna get attacked. Um, I don't like how the loop ends. Like it completely changes what it had kind of been doing. I don't know. Doesn't really seem too sneaky, shadow, dark. But I think it's still good. I'd leave it at a 4. I would just leave it under Gemini Man.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Shadow Man's a ninja.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
All right, cool. Snake Man. All right, Snake Man.
yeah, I like the overall tune melody to this. Whatever it may be. Um, it's nice. It's upbeat. Kind of want to give this one a 5. I don't know if I like it more than Sparkman or not. I think I'd have to re-listen to that. So just put it under Sparkman. Yeah.
Okay, it's also interesting for me, like, because I know what these sound like on the NES, and like on the Game Boy, they had to make some like not
Changes.
compromises, but they had to change it up to make it fit the sound chip. And it's just interesting how like because I've heard the original so long, like how these sound different.
Yeah.
Like for you, you're like, oh yeah, this sounds like what it sounds like,
Yeah.
But I'm like, for me, who's like listened to it so many times for so many years, I'm just like, yeah, like it's weird. They sound slightly off in this way or that way. So
Yeah.
I
In
don't
a
know.
good way or a bad way. I guess it depends.
It depends. Some of them sound more like, oh, this got a little bit extra going on. Some of them are like, oh yeah, like this one you can tell that it's lacking one of the sound chips, so it's missing like a piece to like make it more full.
Yeah.
It definitely feels more Game Boy-y, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Simpler hardware.
Yeah. Cool. Well, this next one is Wily's Castle. So not a boss like the other ones, but still a stage. So all right, Wily's Castle.
Very short loop. I think it does what it needs to do as far as like, oh, you've reached the castle. Uh, it has kind of like that oh shit to it with the notes. It's not super complex. Does what it needs to do. Huh.
I think Wily's Castle is also not that long of a stage. I think
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty short stage because basically the way this game works is you have your first 4,
Yeah.
and you do like a Wily Castle stage, like a short one, and then you fight the like mid boss, and then you do the next 4, and then you do the actual Wily Castle. So this one's more like an interlude, just to like basically end the part that's like based off Mega Man 3, and then enter the part that's based off Mega Man 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it is definitely not a long long loop, but I believe
Loop.
this stage, if I remember correctly, because I had this as a kid, I believe this stage is not that long either. It's like a very short, like kind of area.
Like a fart.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're just
It's basically just kind of like a little mini stage just to get from
mm-hmm.
point A to point B, so you
Mm-hmm.
can continue like the whole thing. You know.
Okay. Um, I'd say give this one a 3. It
Cool.
does what it needs to do.
So this next one's Punk.
Punk.
The Mega Man games. So quick thing is
Shit.
so the Mega Man games in Japan, he's called Rockman.
Yeah.
And then his sister's Roll, so rock and
Yeah.
roll. His brother's Blues, and then there's a lot of like, and then you have his like rival. His name is Bass, and his
Yeah.
dog's name is Treble.
Trouble. Yeah.
And his bird's name and Mega Man's bird's name is Beat. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of musical motifs in the naming. Didn't translate as well here because obviously they like changed his name to Mega instead of Rock. But one of the things they did for the Mega Man Game Boy versions is they made a new specific boss for each game, and they all had they were all based off music.
Motif.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Mega Man, I think 1 for the Game Boy had Anchor, which is based off Enka music from Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know what 2 is. This one had Punk, and then 4 had I think it's spelled ballade, but it's supposed to be like ballad.
Ballad. Yeah.
So this one it's Punk, and I think he does have like a mohawk or something.
Okay. This isn't edgy.
So yeah, that's where the like why it's like why is his name just Punk, and it's literally because like it was the musical motif thing, and then for this one it had to be Punk. So I just want to give you a little, like
Background.
why the hell is it
Little
called
flavor text.
what is Punk? And it's like, oh, it's a robot based off of, like that was their thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna play it now. All right. Again, very short loop, but
Yeah.
that was Punk.
I mean, yeah, it kind of fits. Kind of fits the like, I'm the baddie kind of feel. I guess sound chip limitations, not as like punky in the rhythm maybe as it could be. But I liked it. Do I like it more than Shadow Man? I like it more than Wily, so I know it's at least going above that. I'm just trying to decide if it's be like top of the 3 or bottom or like 4. Sure. Put it at the top of the. I think Shadow Man at least has more going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd leave it at the top of the.
One thing too, in Mega Man 11, Mega Man 10, they made DLC for it, and it was when they returned back to the blocky versions. They actually made DLC based off of Anchor, Ballade, and Punk.
What?
So you had like a basically challenge stages, and at the end you would fight one of them 3. And they took the songs from the original, so this one, but they extended them and they made long versions of it. So it had the same original beginning, but then like the middle is way more expanded, and it's an actual like full on song as opposed to just like a little loop.
Yeah.
Not relevant to this because it's not in this soundtrack, but I just thought it was cool that they like brought them back and they like fleshed out the tunes and such. They didn't have to, but they did for us, the fans.
Yeah, that's cool that they did that. Kind of harkening back.
Yeah, and also if you can see based off the composers, the first 4 were composed by 3 of the first 4. Basically, the first 4 were composed by like the Mega Man 3 sound team, and then the second 4 were composed by the Mega Man 4 sound team.
Okay,
and then
so
you
it'll be
have
different.
and then you have the guy who did this soundtrack basically rearranged the tracks to fit them on the Game Boy, and then also
Mhm.
composed Punk, Wily Castle stage, and then Wily Station stage. So
Okay.
those three are brand new for this game only.
Okay.
And then he arranged, I believe it's a he, arranged the rest of the tracks for the game. So that's just
Okay.
what that is. All right, that's Dive Man.
Dive Man, high energy, good good flow throughout the song. I like the bridge. Is that what it is towards the end before it loops back? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like the breakdown thing at the end.
Yeah, I like that too. Give it a 5. It's definitely above Snake Man. I can't quite remember Spark Man, so I'm not sure to put it above that or not. But yeah, yeah, Dive Man's good.
Cool. The next one is Drill Man. All right, that was Drill Man.
I also like this one. This one's a little different to me than the other ones. Like in the way the song kind of develops throughout. Uh, it it kind of reminds me of like an anime opening song. In a way. Like it's uh like I feel like somebody should be singing in this song. I don't know. Just with the way that it's written. I like it. I would say give it a 5 and put it uh uh to be a 5. Wait. No, give it a 4. Wait, let me lie. Give it a 4 and I think put it below Gemini Man.
Okay. Then we have Dust Man. He's a
Dirty.
vacuum. He's a
Oh
vacuum,
god.
and he lives in his stage is like a trash kind of like a recycling plant thing.
Oh god. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, Dust Man.
Really like this one. I like how it starts. I like that you also gave the background information to it. It definitely kind of sounds like you're traveling somewhere alone, like uh the the ends of the earth. Um, yeah, I give it a 5, and I would put it above Snake. Um, yeah, that one's got a nice beat, a nice melody to.
Okay. The next one is Skullman. I mean, he's just very straight. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a robot based off a skull, and his stage is literally just it's like a tower of some kind,
Hmm.
but everything is made of like bones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very out of nowhere. But yeah, Skullman. All right, Skullman.
Again, really like the composition. I think parts of this song are a little simpler than other ones. Not the entirety of it, but and it might be because of the sound chip. Like you were saying, they had to cut some stuff out, but I really like it. I would give it a 5, and I would put it above Dustman, I think.
Okay, and then the last one is an original song, Wiley
Hmm.
Station. Wiley Station.
Of the ones this guy has just like kind of composed on his own, this is definitely the best one that he did. It sounds, again, doesn't have the kind of complexity that some of the other ones do. I like it. I like the melody. It sounds hollow, like you're kind of like it sounds echoey in a way, just because I think of the instruments that that he chose. Like you're kind of like going down this long corridor. Um, I'd give it a 4. Um, I'd have to listen to Real Man again. I think it's above Shadow Man for me, just because I don't like the bridge too much.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And then we're gonna do the rundown, and
Hmm.
quick snippets, and
Yep.
then you decide who goes and who stays.
Hmm.
So we'll start. All right. I'll stop at those three, and then let me know if there's any changes so far.
Uh, yeah, I think I kind of. So I will right now. I want to move Sparkman below Dustman. Yeah. Then let me listen to Dustman and Snake Man, because that might just be how it's. Move Snake Man above Spark Man.
Okay.
There
And
you
then
go.
the fives are done.
Fives are done.
All right. And then we got 4 fours. All right.
Uh, move Jewel Man to the bottom of the fours. It's hard because I like the way Shadow Man starts, but move Shadow Man above Wily. There you go.
Okay. And then
Those the threes can stay as they are. The threes can stay.
All right. Well, that's Mega Man 3 for the Game Boy. Like I said, it's kind of like a mishmash of 2 games plus a third because of the original tracks, and then they're like rearranged for different consoles. So it's kind of a repeat, but also not. So it's in this weird. It's a weird like remake, not remake kind of game.
Yeah.
Cool. But do you have a rating for the whole thing?
I would say this can have a solid 7.5 for the soundtrack, because a lot of them are good little bee-boops. And even like the worst ones aren't terrible. So it's good. It's solid. Give it a listen if you like chip music.
Yeah, I agree. It's got some good stuff in it, man. They definitely have, and I mean, I have personal attachment because I own this. This is the Game Boy one that I owned. I didn't own like 1, 2, 4, or 5, just 3. So I have personal attachment to it. These are the songs that I grew up with more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It looks like you ended up liking the Mega Man 4 music more than the Mega Man 3 music, which is interesting because I think Mega Man 3's soundtrack is regarded to be like creme de la creme.
Yeah.
People felt like 4 was when they kind of started like just kind of phoning it in. But I mean, I like both of them. So yeah.
Well, I mean, but yeah, it's the way like the music got translated too. I think.
That changes things because it's not just like plop and you're done. Okay. Well, that's it for Mega Man 3. come back next time for more blocky music. The
More
blockier the
crushing
better.
Victor's dreams.
No, this, you know what? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I would have not ranked them this way, but you know what? It's not about me. It's not about me. Cool. All right. Bye.
Bye.